Assalamualaikum and greetings. I'm Syafiqa Aqiera and today I'll be presenting on navigating challenges in technical English insights from learners at the Malaysian Polytechnic. This presentation is divided into 5 parts as shown in the slide. Introduction. This paper investigates the challenges faced by learners of DUE 10062 Technical English 1, a specialized form of English used in professional and academic contexts in a Malaysian Polytechnic. Through these studies, the key obstacles such as limited vocabulary, comprehension difficulties with technical texts, and the lack of practical application in real-world scenarios are the key concerns. The findings reveal that the learners often struggle with the jargon and nuanced language specific to their fields, which can hinder the language learning performance and understanding. The implications of these challenges must be addressed for curriculum development and teaching strategies, emphasizing the need for targeted instructional materials and practices that bridge the gap between theoretical knowledge and practical usage. This research contributes to a deeper understanding of the complexity of technical English and offers recommendations for improving learners' outcome in this critical area of communication. English language learning in the higher education institution in this era pose a different landscape to help learners navigate in the current wave of globalized workforce. Several research studies have shown that the acquisition of language is most effective if it is to be allied in the learner's field of studies. Learning ESP has become essential, particularly for students in technical fields who must navigate complex industry-specific terminology and concepts. Pedagogically, the primary goal of ESP is to equip learners with communication skills tailored to the specific professional fields. More specifically, integrating content and language is essential, as this is an approach believed to optimize learners' language application in a realistic and simulated context. However, for this to be achieved, there is a need to close the gap of proficiency of the language acquisition and understanding in the shape of learning general English for daily use in their secondary school to learning the language in integration of complex industry-specific terminology and concepts in their higher education institution. To further understand the implementation of ESP in Malaysian education context, we need to scale back to dual language program which was implemented in 2016. The introduction of the LP was direct response from Ministry of Education MOE to cater the persistent request of some groups that these subjects are to be taught in English. The DLP was introduced in the teaching and learning of science and mathematics, the STEM subject, in which the system advocated both the use of Malay and English languages. Even though this is a well-rounded system, a study by Azhari in 2017 stated that while language proficiency does play a role in shaping the moderate levels of readiness and confidence among the LP students, the findings also revealed that the students face difficulty in understanding scientific terms, question and explanation in English due to their limited vocabulary and basic English skill. The following years, Azhari again in 2018 and 19 observed a positive attitudes towards their language abilities and the willingness to learn English. Though the students recognized the importance of learning science and math in English for future careers and global communication, the struggle in vocabulary skill is still evident. Students struggle to understand technical vocab, terminologies, and sentence structures that are rarely encountered in everyday conversation. They too express frustration with their inability to quickly grasp and remember terms, which hindered their overall understanding of content. Therefore, greater efforts are needed to enhance students' vocabulary, which could ultimately make learning these subjects more accessible. As schools in Malaysia is implementing the LP, one common misconception was that the transitioning from secondary school to learning English for specific purposes for students enrolled in technical field of study will not pose any challenges to the students. Several research studies have shown findings contradicting to this misconception. Fang and Liu stated that the separation of English language and the STEM classroom hinders the students' vocabulary comprehension. The use of the ESP language is confined only to the STEM classroom and is not enriched in the English classroom, hence the opportunity to polish on the jargon terms and vocabulary is very limited. Moving on to methodology, this study utilizes a descriptive research design that aims to explore the students' challenges in learning technical English. A public technical institution in Sarawak was selected as the venue for this study. The study was conducted at the end of the semester, after which the respondent had completed the DUE 162 Technical English 1 course. For this study, respondents are students enrolled in DUE 162 Technical English 1 class. They were chosen through purposive sampling, which the respondents are in semester 1 from 4 different engineering programs, which are civil, mechanical, electrical, and petrochemical engineering. The number of students enrolled in the course are 520 students, and this research requires 15% or at least 78 students from the population. From that, the total number of respondents participating in this study are 137 or 26.3% of the population. The data collection in this study is through a questionnaire adapted from ANISE 2021 and Solihin 2023. Both previous research findings emphasize on the challenges faced in the respective institution in terms of learning English for specific purposes, with most of the predominant and critical challenge being vocabulary mastery. With the research findings and similar concerns that exist in this institution, the questionnaire questions were then adapted and adopted to better suit the needs and the environment of which the study is conducted. The questionnaire itself is divided into 2 parts. The first part includes demographic data. Second is on challenges faced by the respondents. Third is on the respondents' learning strategy. The questionnaire was distributed online via Google Form to the respondents with the aim to answer the following research question. 1. What are the specific challenges learners face with technical vocabulary in technical English? 2. How do learners overcome difficulties with specialized terminology, position, and context-specific meanings? Data collected were analyzed using the SPSS, and further findings are further discussed in the following slide. The findings and analysis for the first part, which are the demographic data. From graph 1, majority of the respondents are from Mechanical Engineering Department with 50 respondents or 36.5% from the overall total. This is followed by Civil Engineering Department with 27.7% or 38 respondents, and the last 2 engineering departments, which are Petrochemical Engineering and Electrical Engineering, recorded only 18.2% or 25 respondents and 17.5% or 24 respondents respectively. Chart 1 indicates the respondents' self-evaluation of their level of English proficiency. Majority at 92 respondents or 67.2% rate the English proficiency as intermediate, 18.2% as the beginner's level, 13.9% deemed the English level is at an advanced level, and from this, only 1 out of 137 respondents or only 0.7% perceive their English proficiency is at an expert level. And graph 2, for the demographic data, displays the frequency for the respondents encountering with unfamiliar technical terms throughout their course. 59.1% or 81 respondents mentioned that they sometimes encounter with unfamiliar technical terms, and 18.2% or 25 respondents responded often. 17.5% or 24 respondents said they rarely encounter unfamiliar terms, while 2 responded never. In the second analysis, we investigated the respondents' difficulties in learning technical vocabulary compared to general English, and what is the main challenge that they face in technical English course. In chart 2, the analysis result shows that the majority of respondents at 56.9% indicated that they are neutral on this statement. 19.7% responded, saying that it is somewhat easy for them to learn technical vocabulary, and this contradicts with 16.1% respondent, stating that it is somewhat difficult for them to learn technical vocabulary compared to general English. The remaining respondents responded at both extreme scales, with 5 respondents or 3.6% respectively to the statement that they find it very difficult and they find it very easy to learn technical vocabulary compared to general English. Chart 3, on the other hand, shows the analysis on the most challenging aspect of technical learning vocabulary. Most respondents responded that in learning technical vocabulary, they encounter difficulties in understanding the precise meaning of technical terms and are having trouble remembering the terms, with 21.4% selecting these options respectively. 16.8% respondents stated that they have limited knowledge of the specialized terms used in the technical field of study, and 15.3% mentioned that they find it difficult to apply the technical terms in real-world scenarios. Only 12.4 respondents struggle with the context-specific meanings of them, and 7.3 finds acronyms and abbreviations to be challenging to them. As we identify the challenges that the respondents face, we do investigate on how the students coped in overcoming these challenges in terms of their learning strategies. Table 1 shows this result. For this part, we employ the use of a 5-point Likert scale. As can be seen from Table 1, generally all the respondents responded within the range of 3.41 to 4.2, which is effective. The statement with the highest mean at 4.12 was that asking teachers of classmates for clarification on technical vocab was most preferred in assisting the learners grasp their lesson better. Next, the respondents stated that relating the technical terms to a real-life example and using the dictionary to seek the definition online helped them to better comprehend the technical vocabulary. The statement with the lowest mean at 3.5 was learning the technical vocabulary by using contextual clues to infer meaning. The finding of this research aligns with the findings of several previous research. Research by Maruyama 2006, in which in his study in electrical engineering students in Japan, acknowledged that the learners are lacking in terms of technical vocabulary due to their limited knowledge of the specialized words, as they were not common in general English. Also, due to this, the students struggle with the applying of the terms in a real context. On that note too, Suzine in 2011 encountered similar trends of challenges faced by the learners in learning English for specific purposes compared to general English. The need to bridge the gap between respondents' schemata of general English and technical English, a form of ESP, must be addressed to help the learners comprehend and perform better in both language learning and the content of their field of study. As per the preferences in learning strategies, the respondents are more inclined towards engaging in a more social strategy by asking their peers and lecturers. This is consistent with the findings made by Noor and Amer in 2009 and Al-Zarani and Chowdhury in 2022, where their research have shown similar results. However, this research has its own limitation, as we only investigated the challenges faced by the students. To further examine the effectiveness of the new DUE 162 Technical English 1 course, a future research opportunity to investigate the lecturer's perspective is worth looking into. Also, as the course stabilizes, the assessment method and instruction too is another window of opportunity to further address the issue of technical language comprehension of the subject matter. In conclusion, the findings of this research underscore the importance of addressing these challenges through curriculum enhancement and targeted teaching strategies. Thus, it contributes valuable insights into the intricacies of technical English acquisition, proposing actionable steps to improve educational outcomes for students striving to master this vital form of communication. Thank you.